Well, the XFL is coming back, and I only have one question. Does that make these more valuable or less? Yes, after weeks of speculation, the reports that Vince McMahon sold $100 million of WWE stock, the creation of Alpha Entertainment LLC, the trademarking of the XFL name, on Thursday, Mr. McMahon confirmed what many of us had already assumed, or in some cases feared, would happen. The XFL is making a comeback.
This is the XFL.
Now, before I talk about the league's return, if you're interested to see what happened the last time McMahon dabbled in American football, check out my review of the original XFL, which is linked in the description below. In his press conference from the holodeck on Thursday, Vince announced that the XFL will be returning in 2020. That's a good thing. In the original incarnation, the XFL kicked off only 1 year after the initial announcement. Giving themselves more time to prepare could only be a good thing. Vince also said in the press conference that it would start in January or February. The former is interesting since that's the month where the NFL postseason is happening. Also a welcome change, the new XFL will be owned entirely by Vince's new Alpha Entertainment Corporation. In 2001, it was a 50-50 split between the WWF and NBC. This new structure means that Vince and Vince alone will be responsible for the success or the failure of the league. Like in XFL version 1, the league will own the teams as opposed to the NFL where the teams are privately owned. Also, the schedule will be the same as before. 8 teams, 10-game regular schedule, a single semifinal round of 4 teams leading into the championship game. I hope they bring back the big game at the end. So how's the XFL going to be different from what we see in today's football? Well, besides Vince's promises that it sure will be, we don't know. Vince kept saying he was going to reimagine the game of football while offering no specifics. He did say he wanted to make the game safer and faster. He said he was shooting for 2-hour games, which seems pretty nuts. The average is 3 to 3.5 hours. So what could they do to get to that point? Maybe no halftime, a shorter play clock, shorter and fewer commercial breaks, maybe a required no-huddle offense, maybe even fewer downs or no extra points. Maybe they'd even allow more lenient officials to throw less penalty flags, but if they did that, wouldn't that go against the idea of making the game safer? Some other interesting notes from Thursday's press conference. Vince said that they were thinking about using a name other than XFL, but they decided to stick with it due to the brand equity. I don't know if you would call it equity so much as reputation. There's no word on what cities might be hosting teams as of yet, and Vince also said he's not sure if players will be able to have the custom nicknames on their jerseys, which means that this generation of fans might never get their version of He Hate Me. He said on numerous occasions there would be no crossover from WWE, which is great. He also kept it vague regarding the national anthem and what rules he might enforce in terms of how players will pose for it. Obviously a reference to the whole kneeling controversy in the NFL over the last couple of years. He did emphasize the fact that this league would be no place for politics or social issues and they would only focus on football. And finally, 2 of his biggest talking points were the fact he would go in the background and let the experts handle the XFL, and also they would listen to the fans. We'll see how that one goes. As someone who used to follow football pretty seriously until my Oregon Ducks went back into the shitter and I got sick of the NFL commissioner Roger Goodell, I'm actually really curious to see what this new XFL will bring us. It seems like Vince has learned his lessons from 17 years ago by not splitting ownership, giving them more time to prepare, and not crossing over with wrestling. But just because NFL's ratings are down these days, that doesn't mean people are going to automatically jump to this new product. Aside from the NFL, there's college football, the Canadian League, and arena football. Believe me, North America's got this sport on lock. There is enough football as it is. The XFL is going to have to be truly unique in order to grab those eyeballs. But they can't just be different, they also have to be good. Remember, one of the biggest problems the original XFL had was the NFL had all the best players. This league will have to have executives who are seriously good at navigating the free agent market in order to find the best possible players for the positions they need. On the same token, though, fans will have to be more patient and give this league the opportunity they did not have last time to grow. Finally, it is admirable, much in the same way it's admirable to see someone eat a 40-ounce steak in one sitting, to see Vince McMahon, who's in his 70s, starting up a whole new company, a whole new football league, while also continuing to run WWE as the CEO and be the final say in creative decisions. He says his responsibilities in WWE will not change, but how that's even going to be possible once the season kicks off, I have no idea. The man is truly mad, but he's also incredibly bold. So what are your thoughts on this brave new XFL? Does it have a chance in 2020? Post some team names you want to see in the comment section below. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.